Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. After my last video, I spoke about how I got into College of Health Science and Technology, and I said I was going to do a follow-up video speaking about how I eventually transitioned into nursing, how I applied, how I decided that I was going to do nursing eventually. So if you've not seen my previous video, I'm going to leave a link in the description for you to watch the video. Then you can also watch this one so you can relate, right? So let's get right into this video. So if you were following through, I spoke about how mysteriously, miraculously, I got into College of Health Science and Technology, and I started the pharmacy technician program, which was for 3 years. So after my pharmacy technician program, it was during the final year. I was supposed to take a council exam. So after your 3 years of your pharmacy technician program, you have to write a council exam, so you get licensed, right? So you're able to practice, you get your license. If you fail the exam, you have to retake the exam again, and it's just like an extra year. You're not able to practice well. Employers don't get to pay you well without your license, which I think, I don't know, because I don't think after I got my license, I was paid higher. No, it was the same amount I was paid when they employed me. That was the amount I was paid until the company decided to increase everybody's salary, not because I got my license. No, that was not it. So that was it. So I was in my final year. Then I remember this was like around March. Yeah, March 2021. Yeah, around March 2021. Then I spoke to um I spoke to an uncle in the US, and he was like, why not just try? So we were talking, and he was asking my plans after school. And really, plans after school, I just was thinking, after I'm done with school, I would work. Truthfully, I had always wanted to further my education, because I just knew that that was not the height for me. I knew that was not what I was going to do all through my life. So I knew that that was not it for me. So I remember even during the pharmacy technician program, I took JAM again, just because I wanted to further my education. You don't need people to have a say. And when I mean have a say, I mean you don't need them to say, do this, do that. Yes, you need people around you to put you on the right track. You need people to help you. You need people to give you opinions, suggestions, but it does not mean they have to dictate your life. It does not mean they have to dictate what you're going to do. So I had good people around me at the time, people that were really helping me out, people that were making me see life beyond where I was at the time. So I had really good people that had my interest at their heart. They had my best interest at heart. So, we were talking about my plans after school, and it was just like, why not just try Canada? And I'm like, Canada. Like, when, how to explain? I have always wanted to travel outside the country, but I did not see it as something that I honestly don't know how to explain this right now. So he said Canada, right? And I'm like, why are you talking like you don't know? I'm like, why are you talking like you don't know? Canada, how now? And I used to see it as a big deal. I didn't know it was something I could apply by myself. I didn't know it was something I could do on my own. And that's why, if you know me, ever since I got to Canada, ever since I shared my moving to Canada journey, I would always tell people, learn to do things by yourself, because there are some things you think is big. Once you try it out, you see that there's nothing. I have friends, I encourage them. when they start telling me about the situation, what's going on, I tell them, I'm like, why not just apply? Because that was the same way, I was pushed. And I'd say because I had built my mind, you know, at that point, that the least I would get or the most I would get is a no from wherever, even from work and everything. So it was okay, so just try. And I remember I applied. So before I applied, I started gathering all of my documents. I was not done with school, but I spoke to the head of the department at the time that I needed my transcript. So I paid, which was one very good thing I was able to do, and I bless God for that, because I know how people talk about getting transcripts, how difficult, how it can be a waste of time, a long time. So I remember talking to my head of department at the time. I paid for everything, even though my transcript wasn't complete. They helped me out. They gave me the one that I had, and they were like, "Oh, once you're done, you can just come and collect the full transcript." So I got the one I had at the time, so I just used that one in applying for the school. But unfortunately, because my transcript wasn't complete and nursing can be very competitive, so I wasn't able to get into the nursing department. My school then said that they can offer me a seat in another program aside nursing. And this program is a college preparation program, which means that, okay, so you're almost at that average score. So let me give an instance. The average was like 75%, and I was like 74.99. Yeah, it was like that, no cap. And I just needed, it wasn't even up to 1 point just to get into nursing school. So that was it. Was I'm like, can't these people just approximate this thing to 75 and give me the admission? But no, it doesn't work that way, because even if you're at 75%, it still does not guarantee that you get the admission, because there are also people that have 90, 85, and they have to give those people admission first before they get to you. So I wasn't offered that admission. So the school said that why not just come in for a different program, a college preparation program that's going to prepare me for my nursing program. So this college preparation program, I'm going to take it for like a semester or a year. And when I do it, by that time, they are sure that whatever score I have, they're able to add to my previous transcript. And, I apply again for the nursing program and they'll give it to me. Because I wanted to go to Canada, you guys, I collected the admission. I was like, okay, no problem, I'll go for it, because I just wanted to leave Nigeria. And I'm like, in January, I'll just be in Canada, because I was supposed to resume by January. I accepted the offer to go into the program. But then I sat down, I spoke to a few persons that knew at the time, which was my parents and all, and we're like, this does not make sense, because I was going to be done with my pharmacy technician program, as that I was going to be done in like August, September, and these people were going to give me the admission for January. So why not just wait till September, get your full transcript and reapply, right? Instead of you jumping. Because even if they give me the admission for the January intake, I was still going to apply for my visa either ways. So I had to send the school email that, oh, I think I'll just wait till my transcript is complete, then I would reapply. Like, the school was very, very helpful. Like, I would call them, they're like, okay, no problem. Once your transcript is ready, just send it to us. So fast forward to September, after I was done with school. My transcript was ready in no time, because I had processed my transcript, like, just imagine, from like, let's say June to September, I processed my transcript. So after I was done with school, I got my transcript. Immediately my transcript was ready, I collected my copy and asked that my school send their own copy to the school I was applying to in Canada, which my school did, but for some reason, the school in Canada could not find it. So I had to send my own personal student transcript to the school. So got so good. My school was like, just send me all of your documents by yourself, and once we give you the admission, if you meet the requirements and you're here, just bring the original one for them to see. Like they did not really even verify if it was original or not, if it was actual. Like no, they just said once we give you the admission, just make sure that you come with the all of your documents to just verify that it's the actual document. And I sent it to them, and that was where the wait began. If you're seeing my previous video, I previous videos before now, I made a video saying that my admission took about like 6 months. It was no cap. From that moment, from September, I was waiting for admission letter. So I was thinking it was not going to take a long time because the first time I applied, the school, reached out to me in no time asking for so many things and telling me, oh, you do not meet the requirement. So I felt that it was going to take little or no time for them to reach out to me, but there was no response. At this time, I was done with school and I didn't know what next to do. I would say that Canada stuff puts my whole system in another thing, in another, I don't know, it just destabilized me because I was not able to move forward or even go back. I was just stagnant. I did not know what to do. And that's why I would say always have a plan B, because I did not know what to do. I did not know whether I should, I didn't know what to do basically. Everybody was done with school. They were even looking for work. I did not know whether I should work because I'm like, I was so into the whole Canada thing that I was thinking that, oh, what if I get a job and they now approve it? I was thinking that the way I'll get my admission fast, that's the way the visa will come. That so far you have an admission letter, you're definitely going to get your visa approved. That was what I thought. And it is nothing compared to that. So I thought, the admission, and it wasn't coming. So then I moved from Ibadan in like September 2021. I went to Nigeria. I went to Lagos. I went back to my parents' house. Yes. And I'm like, okay, reality has dawned on me now. I have to do something. I also made a video that time. If you check my channel, you see a video where I spoke about, life after school, not knowing what to do. It's not the way you think it's going to be. Life is not, even getting a job is not as easy as you think. So I got back to Lagos and I started searching for a job. And in no time, I got a job because thankfully my program was something that was, my course was something that was in demand. So for the pharmacy technician program, I actually got few jobs, but they were offering to pay peanuts. When I mean peanuts, like pharmacy technicians are in demand, but then they don't pay them well. As at that time, as at 2021, I had friends that were collecting 30,000 naira, 40,000 naira. I think the most they were collecting at the time was like 50,000 naira. And I'm like, I cannot live with that kind of amount. Like after paying thousands, like my tuition fee, my school fee then was like 100 and something thousand naira. It was a lot of money. And this is for, I was paying indigent fee at the time. So just imagine for non-indigent, it's a lot of money to now finish school and come and be collecting 30,000 naira for what? So, and in Lagos it's different again. So I thought that it was going to be different with the pay in Lagos. I thought they were going to pay more because cost of living and everything. But who cares? They were making it look like you're begging for the job, so they're not going to give you that kind of amount. But God so good, the first job I got was pay more than all of this amount. And I'm like, is this a sign? So because it was paying more, like way more than the 50,000 they were paying. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go for this job. And it was a place that, I was going to learn so much. I was so anxious. I was so eager to start the job. So I started the job in October 1st, 2021. And it was a roller coaster from there. Meanwhile, all these times I was still waiting for the admission. I was working, I was praying, I was crying, I was thinking, God, I don't want to, like, how long am I going to work? So I'm someone that likes working with direction. I like planning things ahead. Like if you see my previous video, I said if you're an overthinker like me, just rest. So I'm someone that thinks a lot and I think a lot. And I was just, thinking. how long am I going to stay here working here? If I want to work here, if there's no Canada, I need to have like a time frame that, oh, in so amount of years I'm done working here and I want to do this next. But I could not think about anything to do because Canada was stuck in my head, which was one bad thing. Like, waiting for your admission of visa is a long wait, a very draining one. People have heart attack, high blood pressure, no cap from waiting for this thing. So like I can imagine, and I do not even wish for my enemy to get a rejection in their visa application because I can imagine the wait and everything. So I was waiting. I was waiting for them, and there was nothing. So I just had to zero my mind that I was going to continue working. And meanwhile, all the money I had at the time, I was thinking I was going to use it for Canada. But then I applied by myself the second time with my money, and there was nothing. So I kept working, I kept putting, at that time I now started putting all my mind, my effort into the job because I knew that there was nowhere else to go to run to. So I kept putting all that I had, and I just forgot about the job. So I remember in somewhere around April, May, I was speaking to my friend and we were talking about, so I did not tell anybody about my, admission application because I felt that this is what I thought about. So I was thinking that this was something I was going to give a try, right? And I wasn't even sure I was going to get it. So why am I going to announce it? And for me, I am someone that would not hide something from people that are really close to me, like if we were very, very close. So I think at the time I applied for my admission, two of my friends knew about it, and these were people that we were always seeing every day. And I just thought that like it was not going to be right keeping this from them because I also needed assistance in uploading some things and I needed help. So I had to tell them. So, but for every other person, I just kept mute because I wasn't sure about what I was doing. I like thinking about it, I wasn't sure. So I didn't tell anyone. So in April, May, I was speaking to a friend, but we were close, but not so close. We had just met like a couple of months before that time, and this was someone that did not know what has been happening with me before now. So I now, explained and said, oh, I've actually been waiting on God for this thing. We were talking about something in general. We are just talking about, how you wait on God for something until you take your mind off it and you see it happen. I remember we had that conversation one night and we were just like, just leave it. I'm just going to, seek God. I'm going to seek his face. I just want to, enjoy the moment with God. I don't want to be praying and for every time I pray, I just want to ask God for something. I just want to say, God, please, my admission, God, please. Like I did because I was tired of making that a prayer point. I was just tired. And we spoke about it, and that was it. I would say that the time I decided to take it away from my heart, that was when God just did something miraculous. I think a day or two after, then I got a mail. I was always checking my mail. I was always checking my mail. I was always checking my mail. And I knew the exact time they were going to respond to me because before now, we had always communicated through mail and I know when they reply me and stuff. Then I saw the mail and I saw that, oh, Jesus, yeah. Where is that I never sing song? Jesus, yeah. Hey, he has done it again, no. Jesus, yeah. In a special way. Hey, hey. Honestly, I got the mail. I saw the mail. I was so excited. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And meanwhile, let me tell you something. So before I got that mail, somewhere around December, I saw November, December, they sent me a mail that they are give because I sent a message to follow up. If you are not giving me admission, let me know. So they sent me a mail that they are still going to give out admission, but they are giving like 80% in December, I think. Then the remaining 20% or 10, I can't even remember. I was going to be in April or so, and the 10% is not for international students. So when I didn't get the admission, I was like, so when they sent the admission letter, Then I was so excited. Well, I did not now know what to do because I had taken it off my mind. My passport was not ready. Like I had my passport before now, but it was expired. Then I started running up and down, trying to how am I going to do this? And in the midst of all of this running here and there, I still wasn't sure I was going to get the visa. I not that I wasn't sure. I wasn't just sure about the whole thing I was doing. It was just let's give this thing a try. So no one knew about it. It was just me and my family. Like literally no one knew about it. We were running everywhere. And because after school everybody was busy working, even the friends I had were in school, so and everybody was working. So it was just everywhere. And I was beginning to enjoy my job because they had increased my salary in like 2 months into the job. It was just sweet. It was sweet, sweet, sweet. And then finally, I applied for my visa. So I'm going to say something. Looking at it now, all the stress I went through, hmm, I don't see it as stress. Like now I am happy, like the kind of happiness that makes you forget all the stress. It is not easy. I was looking so black, like all the stress and everything. I cannot imagine if it was a rejection, how painful the investment, the money. Hey, people will show you pepper during this journey. See, there are people that you can be very close to, and like they just start going away from you. It's just part of everything because the devil is actually not happy that something good is coming for you. Even people just behave very funny. And I remember going from my passport office, biometrics, everybody was just showing me shaggy. But I was finding favor everywhere I went. Favor was just everywhere. And that's why I am sharing my own area, because I know that you're watching right now, you're waiting on God for that admission, you're waiting for the visa, or you must have gotten a rejection before, or you've gotten a rejection twice. Don't give up, keep praying. And I know it's not going to be easy for me to say take it off your mind, but try as much as possible, as much as you can, to just tell God that, see, I've washed my hand away from this thing and I leave it to you, right? Just take control of it. It is not easy, but do it. I wish I can explain more than what I'm saying, but just leave it to God. Leave it to God, and you see miracle. Everything will happen in no time. It might not happen when you want. It took me 6 months to see that miracle. If you know what I'm saying, if you have waited on God for something that takes people weeks, days, and your own is taking months, you will understand how I feel. So yeah, I applied and did everything, every application. I was just putting this one, putting everything. I didn't even put so many documents, but God so good. The way started again, and during that week, I wanted to quit my job because I was so tired. It was approaching a year, and I'm like, God, what's happening? This is almost 1 year working in this place. There is no go, there's no come, and this is like 1 year after school. And mind you, I've been doing this process since like May, June of 2021. We are in 2022 of like October or September, and there's nothing. And I cannot go into the next year doing nothing. It was a long one, and I remember submitting my resignation letter. I think I submitted my resignation letter October 1st. Was it October 1st? Or September 20 something? Because I remember I started working like October 1st, like the next a year after. I think it was like an holiday, and I was really tired of work. A lot of things were happening. I was frustrated. I was depressed. I was just tired. I cannot even say depressed because now I've experienced depression. I cannot even call that one depression. So I was just really down, and that was it. I quit my job, but God was like, "You, this girl, you're going nowhere. You're going to stay here, gather money, gather money because you're going to Canada." So yeah, I worked, and The month I quit my job, walking on the streets of Victoria Island. Did I say streets? Walking on the road of Victoria Island looking for job up and down. I think when my HR called me back to work and they were like, "Oh, they were not going to take my resignation letter, blah blah blah," because there were a lot of things, and they're like, "No." So I resumed my job back. I resumed work back then. I also even made a video when I quit my job, but when I posted that video, my visa was already out. But I made that video like in my lowest time. I so Sha, I resumed my work back, and like 2 weeks after, I remember I was in the toilet, sitting down, doing the needful in the morning, and I got a mail from IRCC. I saw the mail, my heart do boom. They sent another mail again. I say it is finished. So I thought it was a rejection, honestly, because before that time, prior to that time, they had asked me to upload an additional document, which I did upload, but it wasn't going through. So I was scared. And my admission, I had to defer because I was supposed to resume in September, but the visa wasn't here, so I had to defer. So I was just scared because I just saw so many reasons why they were going to reject it. Like so many reasons. I was just remembering so many things I did not submit. But God is faithful. I opened I opened it, and the joy in my heart knew no bound. Like I can still feel the excitement. I can still feel everything. I was so happy. I was so happy. So I know how it can be. But then I did not know that nothing here was going to be hard. I didn't know it was going to be like this, but I am happy. I'm in a better place. I'm happy that my dream, my heart desires. At that point, it was like that very big thing in your prayer point has just gone. It has like the big thing. Your prayer point has now become very light. So that was it for me. And yeah, I'm really glad to share this because this is like 1 year in Canada now. Oh my God, how time flies. This is 1 year in Canada and a lot of things have happened. I'm thankful for growth. I'm thankful for everything. I bless the name of the Lord because it is because of him I am here. I thank God. I thank my parents. They've been like a strong backbone for me. I am glad because if they had not given me the opportunity to be here, I wouldn't be here. Yeah. So God sent people into your life to help you. So I'm grateful for my parents too, because I know it's not easy sending your child and be paying how many millions for tuition fee. Like with the exchange rate right now, that dollar is like $1,000 and your tuition is like more than $21,000. Can you just do the maths together? I'm just grateful, honestly. I'm grateful to God for a number of things. Like if I start counting my blessings, we will not live here. Every day I think about this thing and I'm like, I'm thankful to God I'm in a better place. I'm thankful to God for the opportunity to let people know that, prayers can be answered. I'm thankful to God that He has given me this, He has helped me to be able to help people waiting out there on God. I'm just grateful to God. Honestly, I don't want to start saying so many things because it gets me so emotional. It gets me so emotional. But I'm thankful to God. I'm thankful to God. I'm thankful that I can start a career again. Even in my 20s, I am taking this boot step. My course is for 4 years. Sometimes I look back and I say, ha, I'm going to that without giving birth to. But then I am grateful to God. And yeah. So, yeah, that's it. I don't know what to say again. So, mind you, just keep praying for me. Yeah, it's going to go a long way. So, thank you for watching my video. Please give this video a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe. I love you guys so much. Bye.